So you want something, it doesn't need to be very high at all. You want something you can put the ball of your foot on and hang your toes off the edge. So we're going to do a little bit more toe flexion and extension exercises today. Just the big toe is really important. So the big toe is, the big toe is what you need for walking, for your gait pattern more than anything else. And as we get older, the big toe can become less and less flexible and more rigid. And this can affect our pelvic floor massively. So what we're going to do is take our foot and we're going to place the ball of our foot, our whole foot basically, apart from our toes, on the block, with the toes kind of hanging off the edge. Then what we're going to do is try and keep the other toes apart from our big toe nice and relaxed and up. And we're going to curl the big toe around the block. Now you can see immediately what happens with mine dissociate completely and they start to curl as I start to curl that big toe. There's also, because I broke this foot, so this is another reason why these exercises are so important. I'll show you a little bit closer to the screen without my face probably. That when I do this exercise, and you might see this in yourselves, that my big toe wants to curl right underneath my other toes as I start to curl it underneath. So I've been working quite a lot on this. So what you can do, I don't want to take this band out of my hair again because my dodgy arm. Hold on 1 second. Look at my box of tricks. So keep practicing that just now. That's not a very good one for it. So what you can do is you can get a hairband. It doesn't need to be a big elastic band like this. You can get a hairband or any sort of band and you put it near the end of your toe predominantly. And what you do is you create a little bit of tension and pull the toe away from where you want it to go as you fold it under. It's really hard. I'm really struggling with this exercise, but I figured that if I'm struggling with this exercise, Diane, that looks good. Oh God. Why is Siri talking to me? Shut up. I think it's because I've like switched her off. So we are moving this toe. So we're going to lift it up and then try and curl it under. And so this for me is a total work in practice. So you try to get, if you've got a band of any sort, you want it nearer the end of the toe rather than the center. So the last bit of the toe. And then you're curling it under. So mine really wants to go towards my foot rather than curling this direction. So I'm going to really encourage it to come the right way. But as you can see, this is how all my toe exercise started out. My feet would not move at all to start with.
Abby, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Do you, when you pull you're pulling the big toe up, are you supposed to be curling your little ones down and you're pulling your big toe up, or was it the other way around?
It's the other way around. So the little toes are staying up, Nina, and the big toe is trying to curl round.
But if I pull my big toe up, I can't push it down.
So you just want to give it a little bit of light tension to make it work. So you're not trying to pull it too hard. You're trying to just give it a little bit of light tension to pull it in the right direction.
But I can't keep my other toes up, so they're just curling as well.
Yeah, so that's what mine are doing too. If you see just now, because I've watched people do this perfectly with keeping their toes relaxed, and mine are they're trying now. That it's got better. They stay up now at least as I start to curl it, you know. But they're curling too, but they're staying up here. They're not curling around the block anymore like this, which is where I started. Yeah. So now I've got to work on relaxing them as I curl that toe under. But I mean, this has been 3 weeks of my over obsessiveness. So, and that's as far as I've got so far. It's better on one foot than it is the other with me. And it might be for you too. So do try on the other foot as well. So this one is much easier to curl than the other ones. Now this bit, the big toe, is one of the big reasons why people have arthritic movement pain when they're walking as they get older. The big toe is like so important. The big toe also feeds in through fascia chains through your pelvic floor to your abdominals to the back of your tongue. So it's got this huge long connection through our body. So the more we can do things with our big toe, the better. So this is going to be a work in practice, obviously, as we go through. How are you all finding that? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Hate it. Norma?
Yeah, I've been trying to do a bit of work on my feet over the holidays because remember I told you I've got arthritis in my toes. My chiropractor told me.
Yeah.
She told me to get Rockefeller shoes, soles, and
Yeah.
everything. Anyway, in the holidays, I just went with my own gut and got barefoot shoes and haven't worn normal shoes, and I can't go back to normal shoes. And I've hardly got any pain in my toes. She was totally wrong. So
Yeah.
it's just very interesting, isn't it? There's a lot of she obviously hasn't moved forward with, she's a very good chiropractor, but she obviously hasn't moved forward with feet. So barefoot shoes are so expensive, but I'm just looking on eBay all the time and everything, but not because I'm hypermobile. My toes have obviously, I've got bunions and things,
Yeah.
but by having no soles, minimal soles, you can bend your toes as you walk.
Yeah.
Like you said, toe raisers. And
Toe
the
raises,
more
toe
that
flexions.
I've
Yeah.
used them, the pain's getting less, whereas she was all support, support, support. But the more that you do these exercises, the more you actually use them, the pain's getting less.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
trying to
really
go back to work because I've got work shoes, so I'm looking on eBay like crazy.
it's super important to keep your feet as flexible
Yeah.
and functional as possible, both for your pelvic floor, but also for the rest of your body. So this is going to be something we're going to be working on over time with the rest of our toe exercises and feet exercises. But now we are going to move into some hypos. So, but this is all interlinked with all of this. So we are going to come down onto the floor because today we're doing looking at Hestia pose and some supine poses. So we're going to come down onto the floor. And we are going to go through the 3 leg positions with the apnea breath, and then we're going to add the arms. So I'm going to take the arms away for a moment, and we're just going to really focus on what's going on with the legs. So I'm going to start with a leg position that everybody can usually manage to do. So that's where I'm going to begin. So we're going to have our legs out in front of us. Now, if you need a block, a book, or something to sit on, please grab one or a cushion. We want to sit right up on our sit bones. So I'd like you to feel your sit bones underneath you. And you've got a little bend in your knees here. We've not got them right up towards us here, and we've not got them right out in front, fully extended. There's a little bend in them. This is to help release the psoas a little and the hip flexors to make it easier to sit. So sit right in your sit bones. Then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to rock back, keeping your, let's find our rib cage on top of our pelvis first, actually. So you can put your hands above your head and move your rib cage from side to side to make sure it's evenly distanced away from the pelvis on both sides, so you don't have one side that's shorter than the other. And we're going to rock our rib cage backwards and forwards to make sure we've got an even distance between the front of our rib cage and the pelvis, and the back of our rib cage and the pelvis. So this is really, the alignment is super important to start with. Then we want to gaze towards our horizon, and we want to always make sure we're looking straight ahead. The minute we start to look down, we start to increase the tension on our back with our heads. And we do use this for flexion in hypopressives, but not right now. So this position here, we want to make sure that we've still got our second toe in line with our knees. I've got a tendency to want to fall my feet to fall out the way, other people go in the way. Make sure you're still in alignment. Now we're going to dorsiflex the ankles, really feeling the work that starts to happen in our legs, but just gently. You want to find about 50% worth of effort, not 100%. Then we're going to squeeze marshmallows underneath our feet, underneath our heels. And now I'd like you to feel like you're dragging your heels lightly back towards your sit bones. And when you do this movement pattern, when you feel like you're dragging it back towards your sit bones, you should feel some work going on at maybe the top of your hamstrings, into your glutes a little, sometimes into your pelvic floor and abdominals. Okay, now nice relaxed shoulders, gazing towards your horizon. You can have your hands around your ribcage if you'd like to feel what's going on, or otherwise hands can be relaxed on your legs or by your side. Relax your jaw. We're going to do 3 deep, slow breaths. And these breaths, we want to open the lower ribs especially. It's really focusing on this rib cage opening nice and wide and staying equidistant away from our pelvis. So let's do 3 and 6 for our breathing. So we're going to inhale for 3, exhale for 6, pause, and then slowly open our ribs in that space between breath. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose, pause. Now slowly widen your rib cage. You want to really feel like you're expanding the rib cage towards the side again, the same way you did on your inhale, and expanding into the back of your rib cage as well. Hold this apnea breath for as long as it's comfortable for you, and then release. Okay, so the next position for our legs is one where we start to work on the hip flexor length a little bit. So we're going to bring our feet and our knees together, squeezing them in towards the side, squeezing them together to start with. Then keeping your heels together, we're going to allow our feet to fall out towards the sides and allow us to open into the legs here. So it's like a little diamond shape with your legs. We're going to press our heels lightly into the floor still, and then feel like we want to drag our heels back towards our sit bones. And again, you should feel this working in your legs a little bit. You don't want to pull so hard that you start to pull your body forwards. Good. We want to feel that our body's still nicely aligned. Same thing with our arms, nice relaxed arms for this one. Gaze towards your horizon. I'd like you to really feel like you're grounding your sit bones into the floor as you reach your head towards the ceiling. 3 breaths, ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly widen your rib cage towards the sides. Keep your jaw relaxed. Focus on widening, widening, widening. So widening the lower ribs. When they finish widening, your mid ribs will start to feel like they're expanding a little, and then your upper ribs. When you're ready to inhale, just inhale here. Well done, everybody. So the next one is, some people can do it and some people can't. So if you can't sit cross-legged, pick one of the other two for this one. Otherwise, we're coming to a cross-legged position next. Same things apply. We want to make sure that we've got our sitting right on our sit bones. Here, we're going to dorsiflex our feet. So we're not sitting with our feet pointed or plantarflex like this. We're going to dorsiflex them. This is helping to engage our legs here. Now, in the other ones, we pulled our heels back towards our sit bones. What I'd like you to think about here is think about drawing your ankles or your feet past each other, like you want to start unfolding them, just very lightly here. Okay, so now you should feel like some engagement. Ribcage directly over your pelvis, just check in with that again. Gaze towards your horizon, relax your jaw. 3 nice slow breaths here. Again, as you inhale, I'd like you to really feel like you're grounding your sit bones into the floor. And as you exhale, I'd like you to feel like you're lengthening from those grounded sit bones up towards the ceiling. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly widen that rib cage. Take your time. Really focus now on that widening, widening, widening all the way around. The wider you can get your rib cage, the more lift you will get within your pelvic floor. Excellent. Hold until you need to inhale. So now I'm going to get you to pick which leg position you preferred. So we're going to add the arms, but I'd like you to be as comfortable as you can be in any sitting position. So pick which one you like the most. So for me, it is definitely cross-legged. So we're going to come to that sitting right on your sit bones again, finding that position, ribcage directly over your pelvis, grounding the sit bones, lengthening the head towards the ceiling. And I'd like you to feel like you're listening to a conversation behind you or pressing your head slightly back, but then drawing it up at the same time, the way we did with our hands at the beginning. We're going to start with external rotation of our arms. So we're going to stretch our hands out towards the side, palms face forwards. I'd like you to reach out through your little fingers. And then we're going to pull our shoulder blades together. And then I'd like you to feel like you're slightly sighing them down and pressing the shoulder blades out towards the sides. So really opening through the shoulders. Gaze straight ahead and wiggle your fingers. Make sure you can see them in your peripheral vision. Perfect. So we're going to do 3 nice slow breaths here and then our apnea. I'd like you always to feel like you're stretching just beyond your fingertips. So we've got this beautiful, like extending stretch going on. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening your ribs. As you open your ribs, just really feeling that expansion of all the intercostals between the ribs. So it's like we're really pulling them and opening them. When you need to inhale here, you're going to inhale in position. And as you exhale, you're going to leave your elbows where they are. You're going to twist your hands around so your palms face towards the back. And then you're going to bend at the elbows and place your hands somewhere on the tops of your thighs here. You can be closer to your knees if this feels better for your shoulders, or further back if you've got good shoulder mobility. So pick where it is. Now we're still pulling our heels past our feet past each other if we cross-legged. We're going to press our hands lightly into our thighs. And at the same time, I'd like you to think about pressing your thighs lightly back into your hands. It's just a very light movement. It's not something where we're really forcing it down or forcing it up. Just a light extension of our stretching. Press out through your elbows, lengthen through the crown of your head. 3 breaths here. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, create space in your spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening that rib cage. Let's open for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling here. As you exhale, you're going to take your hands to a T. Same things, rules apply here. So make sure that your shoulder blades are nice and wide. You're reaching out through your hands all the time. Make sure you can see your fingertips in your peripheral vision. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, lengthen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening your ribs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling here. Exhaling, we're going to twist our hands around, leaving our elbows where they are. And then we're going to bend our arm at the elbows until we can feel our shoulder blades nice and wide and our chest nice and wide. If we pull our hands in towards each other more, you'll start to feel it getting tight where your neck is, where your shoulders are. So we want to find a nice even distance between the pair. Good. Still pressing out through your elbows, lengthening through your spine, ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly open your ribs for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling here. As you exhale, you're going to take your hands this time up to a high V. I'd like you to feel here, again, that you're pressing your shoulder blades down and out towards the sides. So really opening through your shoulder girdle, reaching through your little finger, making sure you can see your fingers in your peripheral vision. Pull those heels past each other, lengthen through your spine, ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening your ribs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling here. As you exhale, you're going to twist your hands around and bend at the elbows, bringing your hands in just a little bit in front of your head usually. Depends on shoulder mobility. Check in and make sure your rib cage is equidistant away from your pelvis still, because quite often when our hands come to here, we start to thrust our rib cage forwards. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, widen across your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, lengthen your spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening your ribs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale here. Exhale, shake your arms on your shoulders off. So, if you can't hold for the count of 10, please just hold for as long as it's comfortable for you. We definitely don't want you to be holding to the point where you're like, when you breathe in. So that's really, really important as we go through. We're going to come down now to supine and lying on our backs for our last 5 minutes. So we're coming down onto the floor. Excellent. So for this position that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be working across our body, so cross-legged. So this is generally taught as a level 2 exercise, but I always teach it as a level 1. So we're going to stretch our left leg out along the mat. We're going to take our right leg and we're going to cross it over the left leg at the ankle, dorsiflexing both our feet. Knees are soft, so we want to make sure we're not hyperextending through the knees, that they are soft even though they're extended. We're going to start up at our head to make sure the back of our head is on the floor. We want to put the back of our head on the floor, gazing straight up towards the ceiling. If you need a block or a book, grab one. We want to feel like we want to slide that bone at the back of our head, our occiput bone, along the mat, away from our body. So we're really lengthening through that top part of the spine. Then we're going to take our rib cage and we're going to melt the back of our shoulders and our rib cage into the floor. Just really allow them to melt down. And then we're going to mobilize our pelvis to find our neutral pelvis. So we can rock our pelvis slightly backwards and forwards. Again, we're looking for an even distance between our pelvis and our rib cage. Okay, then we're going to take our right legs on top. So we're going to take our right hand and place it directly in front of our body with our palms facing towards the ceiling. In that nice bent position that we have in hypopressives. Then we're going to take your left hand and slide it underneath the back of the right palm. So both palms are pressing together. And we're going to bring these arms down towards our pelvis. Good. We're going to do 3 nice slow breaths here. And as we start the opening of our rib cage, we're going to start pressing our hands all the way up through second and then all the way up to your third, keeping the back of your rib cage on the floor. So the minute you start to feel your back arching off the floor, you've come too far with your arms, you're going to stop at the point where just before you arch. Okay, let's do it. Ready to inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly widening your ribs and pressing your hands up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling here. As you exhale, you're going to cross your legs the other way. So left foot's on top now, and you're going to swap your hands around. So your left hand will now be closer to the ceiling. Bring them back down towards your pelvis, pressing them together. Ready to inhale here. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening your ribs as you press your hands up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor, keeping your neutral pelvis. Hands just by your side. They can be on your body or anywhere. So we're going to do a little bit of practice of our breath work. So we're going to do 3 breaths, but this time for our 3 breaths, we're going to inhale at 2 and 4. So inhaling for 2, exhaling for 4. And we're going to pause and open our ribs for a count of 8. Then we're going to do 3 breaths, 3 and 6. We're going to pause and we're going to open our rib cage for a count of 10. And then we're going to do 4 and 8 for our breathing and open for 12. So this is just about us working with different breath speeds, see how they feel in our body and our tolerance for CO2. So let's begin. 2 and 4 first. Ready to inhale. In, 2, out, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, out, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, out, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Open your ribs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly opening your ribs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Slowly widening your ribs for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale here. Exhale. Bring your knees in towards your chest.